Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Wrestling Talking Shop, and welcome back to the channel. And this is Lindsay from Wrestling Talking Shop. And we're going to do Today in Wrestling History for November the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. We're always really busy on the weekends, and so we had...
Sometimes we don't get it done ahead of time.
Yeah.
Anyways, November the 23rd, in 1981 at WWF House Show in Madison Square Garden, Bob Backlund pinned Greg Valentine to win the vacant WWF Championship. The title was vacated the previous month after the referee accidentally handed the title to Valentine. Also on the card, Pedro Morales defeated Don Morocco in a Texas death match for the Intercontinental Championship. In 1989, the third annual WWF Survivor Series came from the Rosemont Horizon in suburban Chicago. This edition was the first one where the teams had names and reduced from 5 to 4 members on each team. And there were several feuds heading into the pay-per-view, which gave each of the 5-on-5 matches on the card a strong purpose. The Ultimate Warrior was the reigning Intercontinental Champion, was in a major feud with the Heenan family. The Ultimate Warrior, captained by the namesake of the team, also featured Jim Neidhart, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, who defeated the Heenan family, captained by Andre the Giant, alongside Arn Anderson, Haku, and Bobby Heenan himself. And also WWF Champion Hulk Hogan and his teammates Jake the Snake Roberts and Tag Team Champions Demolition, Axe, and Smash defeated the teams of Ted DiBiase, Zeus, and the Powers of Pain, the Warlord and Barbarian. And elsewhere in the King's Court, captained by Randy Savage, defeated the quartet of Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Bret Hart, Hercules, and Ronnie Garvin. What was a stacked show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In 1994, the 8th annual WWF Survivor Series, which came from San Antonio in Texas, was headlined by 2 main event matches. Bret Hart lost the WWF Championship to Bob Backlund in a submission match over Owen Hart.
Great match, sorry.
Convinced his mother Helen to throw in the towel and end the match. And also The Undertaker was able to gain revenge on Yokozuna in a casket match where Chuck Norris was assigned as a special enforcer of the match.
I always thought that was crazy when Bob Backlund won the title from Bret Hart, because he was in a later stage of his career, and it was actually the first time he ever played heel, I believe. And he was Crazy Bob, and he of course he lost it to Kevin Nash or Diesel at the house show.
Yep. And earlier on the card, the Diesel eliminated 4 of the 5 members on the opposing team, captained by then Intercontinental Champion Razor Ramon. The conclusion of this match cemented the official split up of the team of Shawn Michaels and Diesel, which had been teased on TV since SummerSlam. The Royal Family, captained by Jerry the King Lawler, with Queasy, Sleazy, and Cheesy, defeated Clowns R.Us, Doink the Clown, Dink, Wink, and Pink. And the $1 Million Team defeated Guts and Glory, captained by Lex Luger. In 1994, Art Barr was found passed away in his Oregon home at just the age of 28.
Still to this day, Dominic Mysterio carries on some of his legacy with his attire and whatnot. He was a great performer, just had a lot of personal issues.
In 1996, at ECW Revere Show, which was subheaded as the Mass Transit Incident, the Sandman retained the ECW World Heavyweight title against Raven in the main event dog collar match. Also, Shane Douglas retained the ECW World Television title against Tommy Dreamer. Rob Van Dam and Pitbull fought to a no contest. In 1997, at WCW World War III from the Palace of Auburn Hills in Michigan, Scott Hall won the 60-man Battle Royal to earn a shot at WCW World Heavyweight Championship. And also, Kurt Hennig defeated Ric Flair to retain the WCW United States title in a no DQ match. And the Steiner brothers retained the WCW World Tag Team Championships against the Blue Bloods, Lord Steven Regal and Squire David Taylor. In 1998, Goldberg defeated the Giant in the main event of WCW Monday Nitro in Grand Rapids, Michigan. In 1999, at WWF SmackDown taping from Rochester, New York, Triple H and X-Pac defeated Shane McMahon and Test in a tag team main event, and the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn defeated the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, in a steel cage tag team match to retain the WWF Tag Team Championships. In 2004, JBL and Orlando Jordan defeated Booker T and Eddie Guerrero in a tag team main event from the WWE SmackDown taping.
Bless you.
Taping in Rochester, New York. In 2004, at TNA Impact tapings from Orlando, Florida, Jeff Jarrett retained the NWA World Heavyweight title against Monty Brown, and Abyss defeated Matt Meyer and Vance Desmond in a handicap tag team match. And also, Ron Killings defeated Bobby Roode, and Scott Hall pinned AJ Styles.
Hey, Ron Killings is going to be a great guy when he finds little Jimmy.
In 2007, Linda Hogan announced that she had filed for divorce from her husband, Hulk Hogan. It doesn't seem like that was that long ago. But
Yeah,
yes,
it really
it was.
doesn't, but, you know.
2007, it's been a minute. In 2008, John Cena returned to in-ring action at the WWE Survivor Series in Boston to defeat Chris Jericho for the World Heavyweight Championship. And also returning at this event was rated R superstar Edge, who replaced Jeff Hardy, who had been attacked in the storyline the night before to win the WWE Championship in a triple threat match with Triple H and Vladimir Kozlov. And The Undertaker defeated The Big Show in a casket match. And the 3 traditional Survivor Series matches on the card was Team HBK beat Team JBL. Team Orton defeated Team Batista, and Raw Women's Team was victorious over the SmackDown Women's Team. In 2009, Jesse Governor Ventura was a guest host of WWE Raw from Hershey, Pennsylvania, where John Cena faced CM Punk for the very first time and defeated the Straight Edge Superstar. And also, Sheamus won the main event Battle Royale and became the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. Alrighty. And then in 2014, WWE Survivor Series. This was a popular day for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
In St. Louis, Sting made his first WWE appearance in the main event on a 5-on-5 tag elimination match where Team Cena defeated The Authority, with Dolph Ziggler being the sole survivor, which meant in the storyline that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were no longer influential in the direction of the WWE talent roster. And also on the card, Dean Ambrose was disqualified in a one-on-one match against Bray Wyatt in a feud which began the previous month's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And Goldust and Stardust lost the tag team championships to Miz and Damian Mizdow in the Fatal 4-Way tag match, which also featured the Usos and Los Matadores. In 2015, Roman Reigns defeated Rusev by disqualification in the main event of WWE Raw from Nashville, a day after winning and losing the WWE Championship. And then Sasha Banks defeated Becky Lynch, Neville pinned Mark Henry, and Paige and Charlotte fought to a draw for the WWE Divas Championship. In 2019, NXT TakeOver War Games came from Allstate Arena in Chicago, where the main event men's War Games match Team Ciampa featured returning Kevin Owens defeating the Undisputed Era, and in the opening contest, Team Ripley defeated Team Baszler in the first ever women's War Game match. And that's going to wrap it up for the 23rd.
Now we got to switch to the 24th. That was a popular day.
That was a mouthful on that one. But maybe this one will be a little shorter. We'll see. And on the 24th in 1983, the first annual Starrcade was promoted by NWA in Greensboro, North Carolina. In the main event, Ric Flair retained the NWA World Heavyweight Championship from Harley Race in a steel cage match.
A little background on that. Vince McMahon and Harley Race had dinner the night before Starrcade, and Vince McMahon tried to bribe Harley Race, into not showing up, and Harley Race wouldn't do it. I mean, and then after that, he tried to actually do a takedown on Harley Race. I mean, it's covered in the dark side of the ring, but I mean, what would the history, the platform of history, or what would be the right word to say that?
How would history be?
Yeah, how would history be? Be if that had happened. But anyways,
crazy. Anyway, the Honky Tonk Man in 1987, the Honky Tonk Man retained the Intercontinental title by countout against Randy Savage at WWF House Show in Madison Square Garden. 1988, the second annual WWF Survivor Series once again came from Richfield, Ohio. In the main event, the Mega Powers co-captained the team of Coco Beware, Hercules, and Hillbilly Jim, and were victorious against the opposition of Twin Towers, Big Boss and Akeem, Ted DiBiase, Haku, and the Red Rooster. In 1990, the Texas Tornado, also known as Kerry Von Erich, retained the Intercontinental title against Mr. Perfect, and Hulk Hogan lost a one-on-one match against Earthquake by countout at the WWF House Show in Madison Square Garden. And then in 1993, at Boston Gardens hosted WWF Survivor Series, which sold out in under an hour when tickets were released in early October. There was, main event elimination match. Lex Luger and his team of All-Americans, The Undertaker and the Steiner Brothers, defeated the Foreign Fanatics, the Ludwig Borga Crush, and Quebecer Jacques, captained by the WWF champion. Oh, we lost it.
Lost the page.
Yokozuna is who it was. But anyway, in 1997 on WWF Raw from Fayetteville, North Carolina, the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn upset the Legion of Doom to win the WWF Tag Team titles. Also, Goldust defeated Ludwig Vachon as his new love interest, and DX promised to deliver Bret Hart to discuss the now infamous Montreal Screwjob. They ended up revealing a short person impersonating the Hitman.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then in 2008, Candice Michelle, Melina, and Mickey James were victorious over Beth Phoenix, Jillian Hall, and Katie Lee Burchell in the 6-person main event on WWE Raw from Providence in Rhode Island. And also CM Punk defeated Snitsky, Chris Jericho, and won against Batista and Randy Orton in a triple threat match. And Rey Mysterio and Shawn Michaels were victorious over John Morrison and The Miz. And then in 2009, at WWE SmackDown taping in Connecticut, The Undertaker defeated Chris Jericho by DQ. Batista beat Kane by countout to become the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. And John Morris retained the Intercontinental title against Vicky Guerrero's boyfriend, Eric Escobar. And then we are going to come down here to, let's see. In 2019, the NXT roster was part of the Interpromotional Brands Battle in the WWE Survivor Series in Chicago, featuring Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Matt Riddle, Tommaso Ciampa, and Keith Lee, and they were involved in traditional tag team elimination matches as well as singles and triple threat matches. And then in 2020, on an episode of Impact Wrestling, the Good Brothers had a phenomenal surprise for Ethan Page, which turned out to be Hornswoggle, dubbed as AJ Swoggles.
I remember that.
And that's going to wrap it up
For the
23rd and the 24th.
Now you got to go to the 25th.
And then we're going to squeeze in the 25th here.
Yeah. Thank you for bearing with us, and thank you, special shout out to thank you for Lindsay, because there's a reason we're both in these videos when we do them like this.
When it's long, it takes a while.
Yeah.
All right, November 25th. In 1985, Andre the Giant, Captain Lou Albano, and Hillbilly Jim defeated Big John Studd, Bobby Heenan, and King Kong Bundy in the main event of WWF Madison Square Garden house show. On the same show, the Fabulous Moolah defeated Wendy Richter for the WWF Women's title. 1989, Jake Roberts defeated Ted DiBiase by countout. The Hart Foundation and the Rockers fought to a time limit draw, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan defeated Randy Macho King Savage by countout in the main event of the WWF house show in Madison Square Garden. And then in 1985, again in Madison Square Garden, or 1995, sorry, Undertaker defeated WWF champion Bret Hart by DQ. The Smoking Guns retained the WWF tag team titles against Owen Hart and Yokozuna, and the British Bulldog was victorious over Diesel via disqualification match. And then the 1-2-3 Kid defeated Marty Jannetty, and Triple H defeated Henry O. Goodwin in a slot bucket match. All right, and then in 2001, Stone Cold Steve Austin retained the WWF title against Kurt Angle in the main event of WWF House Show in Tulsa. Also, Lita pinned Jazz Kane. Kane defeated William Regal, and Test defeated Undertaker. And then let's get down here. On 2003, the tapings for Thanksgiving edition of WWE SmackDown in Boise, Idaho, a 20-man battle royale to determine the #1 contender for Brock Lesnar's WWE title was ruled as a no contest, as the final two competitors, John Cena and Chris Benoit, eliminated each other from the ring. And then we got in 2019 on WWE Raw from Chicago, Seth Rollins held a town hall meeting berating the whole Raw roster as a result of the brand's losing efforts at Survivor Series the previous night.
I remember that.
And Rey Mysterio won a fatal 4-way match to get a shot at the United States champion, which he won from AJ Styles later in the show. And in the main event, Kevin Owens picked up a DQ win over Seth Rollins. And that's going to wrap it up for today in Wrestling History, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell.
And we appreciate you being patient if you stuck around this long.
Yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, like and subscribe.